What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another
If you
edition of
show
Wrestling
me love,
Republics.
yeah. Sorry.
What? We are back once again with another
My
edition
fault. I was
of
on mute. I was
Wrestling
talking to my
Republics
wife. My bad.
off the air. That's iconic. No worries. It's Tuesday night immediately following NXT. I'm stoked to be here. You already heard from him. I'm going to send this out to the TMV. Get your twos up for the Tuesday night delight. What's up, Shotty?
Yeah, always showing love to me, man. That's what I was trying to tell Clark. He don't show enough love. I don't get my respect around here. Nah, my bad. I was talking to my wife about something and I forgot to hit mute. I'm good, man. We here. It's double season for me. Y'all caught me on the daily earlier. It was a fun time with Chaos and Josh, but I'm back with the gang, man. We excited, and next week is going to be the greatest episode of all time because the GOAT, Sexy Red, will be on NXT, and I'm excited about that.
I'm fired up about it too. That threw me for such a loop. I'm exhausted. I've been
Yeah,
all day and I did not see that coming. Those classic.
pause on that too, if applicable. But
No, all good, all good, all good. I'm stoked to be back, obviously, with the crew. And speaking of the crew, let's send it out to Louisville. Who should we believe in, Driz?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in rapping in his Cardinals. It is your boy
Yeah.
Drizzy holding up them twos. It is the Sexy Red Go Home show because next week she's popping up at NXT and we're going ski.
I can't wait. We got Sexy Red. We got the Cardinals in the building. We got Louisville. No Wildcats here. So I'm definitely cool with that. And then finally, Clark and Shad don't have that Metro PCS. It was a one-time thing.
Yeah, I'm about to say, look, bro, you gotta understand. It was like storming in like all areas for us, and then Clark. Yeah, it was just a bad weather day. Mother Nature wasn't on our side, man.
That's the whole deal. And then we've got Victoria with Woot Shoddy, absolutely.
I love you.
Anthony Manzano with Yo. Manzano
Oh,
also
look
with
at him in love. He loves his wife.
We've got Anthony Manzano with the way Gallus returned to television. I think it was them that took out Dar, and they're making everybody think Trick did it. It's a good call.
That's
and then,
what I was telling you before.
Yeah, Grizz Company Man with
we'll
Latina
talk
Heat does
about
it
that
again.
because I have an opinion about that, but we'll talk about that when we get to the topic.
Josh Markowitz with Shawn Michaels and Sexy Red are gonna have an Imagine Leader type segment on next. I don't even know what that means. Markowitz.
Markowitz, you was like alive when that segment happened.
You just go to like a grad party tonight and have too much Kool-Aid.
Too much Kool-Aid.
Josh.
Oh, that's my young boy, man.
That escalated so quickly. I did not see that coming. Oh man, that's outstanding. But let's get into Grizz Company Man.
Sunny days with Sexy Red, huh?
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's too good.
30 days of Sexy Red.
That is, I'm tweeting that right now.
No, seriously, honestly, you should. I that's a must tweet right away. We've already got the highlight of the show. I don't know how we top that. But let's talk about the main event from tonight. We got Lola Vice, Shayna Baszler versus Carmen Petrovic and Natalya Neidhart. The Natty, the Canadian and European connection get the win over Vice and Baszler. And then interestingly enough, Lola Vice head kick, knocks down Shayna. Very quickly, Shayna rises to her feet, grabs onto the chokehold, and the match is set for at the UFC Apex. I'm fired up. Not only is it at the Apex, it's going to be underground. It's going to be no ropes. This is going to be a slugfest without a doubt. I actually liked tonight's tag match better than I expected. I did think it was kind of odd that it was the main event. We all kind of talked about that during the match where it was like,
I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
The way the initial match went, it just came out of nowhere. But
I'm the
not.
Ending of it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure. Well, so either way, let's get started. Drizzy, I'm going to toss it to you. What did you think about it? Who's your pick also to win at Underground at the Apex? Underground, Battleground. Either way, there's a lot of ground. who's going to win the match, the ropeless match at Underground Battleground?
I don't think the match was bad at all. It didn't. In hindsight, I see why it was the main event. But originally going down, I did not see it as a main event. I didn't realize it was the main event until we looked and seen there was like maybe 5 minutes left of the show. Um, it looked more of a coming out party for Carmen Petrovic to stand on her own 2 feet. Natty and her look really good together, and that was something that it's something that I would wish they would be able to go into a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to. Natty is on the main roster. She's on NXT. She's training people. She's stretched a little like everywhere right now. So I'm pretty sure that Carmen's this is just a way to help push Carmen Petrovic into a singles run. Now, as far as the Lola Vice Shayna Baszler ending went, we know Shayna Baszler. We have been watching her playbook for years. When she grabs your arm, you're just like, no, don't do it. No, no. This time, Lola was a step ahead and kicked her. And I don't think Shayna was really going to do anything. It was just one of those things like, we had a bad break. But Lola, the one who really wanted to kick, she wanted to kick Shayna's head off, which I don't know why anybody would want to do any type of bodily harm to Shayna Baszler when she can break your arm in 50 million places. She is not somebody to play with, whether you are an MMA fighter or not. And the pull apart at the end, Shayna, it all fit the main event. It fit main event scene. I enjoyed that aspect of it, and even Ava coming out like, I know y'all want to fight. I kind of want to see it too. You guys, battleground. And they're just like, no, I want underground. So we're going to a UFC arena. We're going to have a NXT underground match in a UFC arena. Do not be surprised if you see cages and all this other stuff going on. There may be blood. I really feel like if there was a match that would have some type of blood, this would be the one to have blood.
I'm 100% with you, and I also think use that octagon. You're at the Apex; they have an octagon. To your point about the cage, use it. Why not? Of any time. We've got a really, really funny comment over here on Instagram that I really don't understand. He said, "Do any other engineers consider themselves engineers going into Space Down?" And I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I think you're on the wrong show, man. Like that wrong channel.
The only thing we create here are memories.
I don't even know what Space Down means.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, no, that completely threw me off.
Shadow ban him.
Did you enjoy that? No. Thank you for tuning in. I apologize for the lack of engineering knowledge. No, I feel bad. We're not giving him any engineering knowledge. But if you did catch Lola Vice turning on Baszler tonight, man, I really hope you enjoy it or enjoyed it. It was fun, and that match is going to be awesome at Battleground Underground. Shoddy, who's your pick in that one? Do you think Lola goes over? It looks like the comments here. Good friends Manzano and Grizz Company Main both said Lola going over. Do you see a chance, even though that makes the most sense to build the youngster, that Shayna goes over with maybe a Kimura or something like that?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I want to give myself a round of applause for predicting that this was going to happen during the match. I was like, I think that Carmen is going to get the underdog victory because tonight, as we'll talk about another match, was the night of the underdogs, which I'm not mad at. I think Lyra's victory last night must have bled through NXT today. So Carmen gets a win, like it, and I like the setup to this match. So, in regards to the match itself, decent tag team match. I think Natty is doing the best that she can do at the moment in WWE and NXT, trying to be a confidant and building up young talent. And I think Carmen Petrovic is someone that has an immense amount of potential. She's got the look, she's got the cool entrance, she's got a interesting move set. She just needs to kind of put it more together, and I think she's slowly but surely putting it together. Um, and yeah, I think the finish was really dope, knowing what we have leading into it at Battlegrounds, because, like you guys mentioned, it is at a UFC arena. These are two women that have mixed martial arts backgrounds. Let's utilize that and let's make that match tied to it. It is the perfect match for that setting. I would go full fledged borderline UFC to it if I was able to as well. And I think these women are gonna do the best they can do because they're so good at it. And I think Shayna is just gonna be able to kind of orchestrate and coach it through where it's gonna still be a WWE wrestling match in a way, but it will look UFC centric, MMA centric to it as well. If I had to pick a winner, I'm giving Lola Vice the win over Shayna, and I'll tell you why. Um, Lola Vice, in my opinion, is one of these next up and coming women on the roster that can be in the title picture. She has a star power to her that a lot of other women on the roster don't have. A lot of it just tied to who she is, having popularity coming into the WWE from a different background, but it's also just the look, it's the presentation, and it's also the skill set. And I think there's something that you can add to it where you continuously make her look like a beast, getting these wins in this type of setting, and being different though, because she's still, not like she's a BA, but she's also still, the cocky, pretty girl who's dancing all around and whatnot and being a showboat. It's a different element to it. And I think it'd be beneficial getting the victory over Shayna in that type of setting. So we'll see what happens, but I'm super excited for it. I'm glad it makes a lot more sense why this PLE is happening there as well when you add a match like that to it.
Yeah, I agree. It fits that card and the venue better than anything that's been booked so far. Both deserve the spot. Both are believable in the Apex in a UFC fight, right? Like they're
Mhm.
two of the greatest women to never compete in the Apex. Is the irony of it. And so I think this is going to look, like you said, as close to an MMA fight as you can ask
Yeah.
when it comes
And
to something like this.
and also I do like the storyline building into it as well, because like I was saying, Lola's the showboat. She's taunting. She's got like a Ocho Cinco personality, right? But
Right.
she's
She's
being
great and dangerous at the same time, and she's
great,
Totally.
hilarious.
dangerous, but she's having fun. And Shayna is the silent assassin. She is in there to do her work. She's taking her craft as serious as it
No
can
play,
be.
no play.
And
She failed in school because she didn't play.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I'm
Just
saying? She
never
ain't
make Shayna bite people again. That was too much. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
please don't go back to that. And in
I'm
fact,
about it.
as we were talking about it, Lola Vice sat there and tweeted, "She never let me be myself."
Really?
I like
It
that.
went through.
That's quick. Okay, Coach 23 is on the same page as some of us here, where he thinks Lola Vice is going to go over in this one, and then Grizz Company main added, imagine a full title reign where Lola forces the entire division to do underground matches and someone overcomes it. That would be a dope story. I actually kind of like that idea. I didn't think of it that way. I would love that. Let's move on to our next topic though. Let's talk about the Women's North American Championship qualifiers, which
Woo!
I love this tournament. I'm glad that they're doing this title. I think the success of the TBS title is telling, not to give AEW any credit for this, but like the the idea that a women's division mid card title can't work it's absurd, right? Let's put that behind us, and I think this
Yeah,
title will work.
TBS title is a mid card title. What?
No,
That's the
it's
main
the main
title.
event. I know we talked
That's the
about it,
main
right?
title.
and it's
We've talked
probably
about
about
it a ton, 100%.
the
Um,
TBS title probably about to be the main event of Double or Nothing.
Sorry, silent film lady. Is Willow's era.
yeah, absolutely.
Real main evented. That's a different topic. My bad. Sorry.
No worries. The two matches we had Thea Hale and Fallon Henley, and then we also had Jada Parker and Brinley Reese. Personally, Brindley Reese stood out to me. I get that she didn't get the W in that match and everything, but like she looked great in this matchup. Um, I like both. I like this tournament. Have either of you guys' picks changed? I'm going to go to you, Shad, first. You want to break down the two matches real quick and then just let me know. Has your pick changed for the winner of the tournament?
I haven't. Well, no, it hasn't. I still think Sol Ruka is the odds-on favorite to win it, unless the goat gets in next week, Tatum Paxley. Then Tatum Paxley's gonna win it. She's gonna use Lyra's feathers to fly up and grab that belt. But that's neither here or there. I do think Sol is still the favorite, but going on to tonight's matches, I think the person that impressed me the most in the losing effort was Thea Hale because I think she wrestled one of her better matches, and I think she really showed a maximum amount of potential that's really developing as a character. And I think it's just a matter of that. There was a lot of emotion going into this match. I think me and Drizzy talked about it as well, where it's like, man, I'm kind of mad that they burning this match because I would like to see both of these women in the ladder match. But it's one of those cases where she put a lot of emotion into this match with Fallon Henley, going within a storyline, this, that, and the third. And I thought she looked great in defeat. Jada, Brinley Reese, solid bout. I think both women have a lot of potential. I think Jada's a little farther ahead in regards to what she can do in ring wise, but I don't think Brindley's too behind. And I think both of them do stellar work as characters. I think Jada Parker is the hot hand. She's more popular to fans. She's more over in that standpoint as well. So it does make sense for her to be in this match as well. So I understand both winners. Fallon obviously is a vet. She wouldn't be a bad inaugural North American champ. So it's exciting. I mean, I think they're putting a good mix of women into this North American title picture. But if I still had to pick a winner at the moment for who has been announced, it's got to be Surf's Up So Ruka.
Ooh, I like the Sol Ruka pick, and I think Sol Ruka makes a ton of sense. She's on fire. We didn't see her tonight. Um, is that Jay or I Dragon? I think it's I Dragon 101 said I get Jada winning too, but Brinley gets better each time she's in the ring.
No,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
she
Yes.
gets better. Um, but the issue I have is more so with, and it's not an issue. I swear, I'm not trying to hate on her because I think she's got a lot of enthusiasm. She's got a lot of character and spunk to her. But it's one of those things where there's too many characters that align in the same, like they all
yeah,
are presented in the same way. Where it's like someone's got to do something that can stand out. You got to
Yeah.
Jada Parker stands out, and that's the difference between both of them, and that's why Jada Parker won because she found her niche of what she can do, like literally little stuff that matters. Just how she's able to do the little,
It's a little
hand
shimmy.
gestures, right? The little shimmy, the
It's
smacking the
like,
camera,
like
how
all
she
that.
walks, the just looking like, like having that resting B face at the whole time, like she ain't
yeah.
here for nothing, but also giving you that little smirk, like haha, like giving me like a little bit of like 50 Cent vibes, man. Like just like kind of that type of stuff, like knowing that you the ultimate goon in the whole building, like that's the difference. And Brinley Reese is happy go loving, but there's a lot of other happy go loving character women on the roster as well.
It's
Yeah.
so true. And then Coach 23 over here added for the women's North American title. One of the reasons is probably the number of women wrestlers in NXT. I want Sol Ruka to win, man. That Soul Snatcher is a thing of beauty. Yes, it is. Right. I
Oh,
think we all agree with that. And that's why Shad, that's why,
she's doing that off a ladder.
yeah. Yep.
She's doing that off a
Soul
ladder.
Soul Ruka is like she could very well be the next Charlotte Flair.
I agree. I agree. Oh, yeah. That's actually, I didn't even think of that
She
comparison.
could very well be the next Charlotte. I know people say Tiffany. I think I'm a Tiffany truther. I think Soul Ruka's potential in ring is higher than Tiffany's because Soul
Uh,
Ruka is way more, like the fluidity is just
it's scary.
out
The
of this world,
athleticism is
bro.
off the charts.
And she's coming off an ACL injury, which is
Which is
crazy.
wild. Grizz Company may added
She's
heel
Adrian
Fallon
Peterson.
is the right pocket for her. Manzano really wants me to read this. Like the only people that can pull off the Lita and Edge thing is They did it with Trick and Lash. I don't think anyone needs to pull that
We're
off.
not doing that. No,
We're not
we're
doing
not doing that.
that's not gonna
That's not
happen.
happening. Don't worry.
But
Those-
Drizzy, I gotta ask you, are you on the same page with the Sol Ruka pick? What
I-
did you think of Thea versus Fallon? Fallon now a heel, and then Jada getting the win against Brindley Reese. Anything different as far as your pick to win the tournament?
As me and Shad talked about earlier, I hated the fact that we burned Fallon and Thea in the first round of this mini tournament. I really feel like it should have been Brindley Fallon. No, not do that. Like maybe swap those opponents. Thea and Jada Parker are Fallon and Brindley are just some other way, but don't put two of your biggest feuds against each other right now, and these are feuds that could definitely happen in the actual ladder match because that's you need stories for those ladder matches. Now I feel like you can almost take Fallon out of it because Thea's not going to allow her to win. You're going to almost take uh Jada Parker out of it because Brindley's gonna because they've been going there for a couple of months now. Ultimately, the matches were very good. Thea Hale wrestled one hell of a match. She has an actual style that has been so ground and pound, and when she gets going, it's almost Daniel Bryan esque. It's like you want to root for her, but the way she hits everything. I don't know if she's been watching Daniel Bryan takes, but I got like a glimpse of just watching a Daniel Bryan run real quick. The Jada Parker Brindley Reese match, as everything is everybody has said, even in the comments. Brindley Reese, we've been watching consistently for weeks now, and she has gotten better every single time. But there's just this little bit more that Jada Parker has that is always gonna be up on her. It's the attitude, it's the swag. She's risen them up every 5 seconds. It's just you can't coach charisma.
You can't coach the it factor.
You cannot do it. She's got it. She couldn't get rid of it if she tried to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Do not be surprised when you are seeing her a couple of years from now and she is the face of WWE. She's going on the ambassador trips. She's doing the Be a Star stuff. She's on all the commercials. Absolutely do not be surprised. You're hearing it here. We've been telling you for weeks now. The Shade Room has told y'all for weeks now. Jada Parker is dead. Now, as I say all those things, my pick is still Lash Legend. There's just as you cannot coach charisma, you cannot coach being a large woman who can toss people around like they are feathers.
Mm-hmm.
The bougie bully will bully all these girls, and she will reach up because she doesn't have to climb that because she's tall as hell. Reach, grab her belt, and Metaphor will go and celebrate.
Yeah, 100%. Jada, like you said, it factor is there, and I think she just needs to be like she needs one big run. I don't think she's winning this tournament necessarily. I actually agree. I think it's Sol Ruka, but like you said, I do think the next 2-3 years we're gonna see her in a spot where very high on the card, main roster.
You can hold her for 2 years.
Yeah.
You can let her kind of develop this year, and then next year you let her be a champion and kind of go through that, or like a year and a half. Like you let her keep you. You don't. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. But let's talk about this triple threat that led to a triple threat for the North American title, the men's North American title. We're now going to talk about Oba Femi. Apparently, there's just not a scenario where a single opponent makes sense or is believable. Like it's possible that he might beat Oba Femi. So he's going to have to wrestle 2 at a time for the time being. And the finish of this match was a little bit weird with Wesley and Coffee both laying on Briggs. It was cool. I like the idea, but it was wonky. It was wonky. Shad, I see you giving the thumbs down. I'll ask you about it first. I mean, I'm excited about the triple threat match, and I'm excited about the match with Oba Femi. I liked this match. The finish just felt a little like, okay, come on. Yeah, like, I don't want to say corny, but like, Okay, really? Again? Like, I don't know. Like, why didn't you just do a fatal four way at this point, right? Poor
Yeah.
Josh Briggs. I don't know. What were your thoughts, Johnny?
I hate this for Josh Briggs. That's kind of where I'm at with it because he doesn't benefit at all, and he looks like a double loser in that standpoint. I don't like these type of finishes. They're wonky. They're sort of lazy booking to it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, to your point, it's interesting. They're making Obafemi the triple threat like king at this point, and it's gonna be a great match. I mean, you got Joe Coffey, you got Wesley. These are guys who are, you know, no short of great opponents than he had in his last triple threat match going in at Stand and Deliver. But it's just the standpoint how we get here. Like the booking does matter, and there is a lot of emphasis on Gallus and Joe Coffey these last 2 weeks, and it's bleeding through the entire show. And it's something where we'll talk about it later, but he's in a double picture for double titles. What's gonna happen when he loses both, right? It doesn't really benefit him. And what if he does? I don't think he's gonna beat Obafemi. What makes me be like, oh yeah, you should definitely be the next opponent for Trick out the gate. And it's also the standpoint where I feel like the match that I really do want to see is Wesley versus Obafemi if we are going to lead to that direction because I think Wesley serves a valid opponent for him, a guy who is renowned North American champion prior to it. And it's a good opponent for Obafemi because it's a good style clash. It's the David versus Goliath story at the end of the day, and both men are very athletic. And Wesley is gonna make Obafemi feel and look like a star that he is. So it's one of those situations where this isn't the last rodeo for Obafemi in my mind, depending on who he beats in this match. But the more sensible option would be Wesley and him having a one-on-one match. But like, how do we get to that? Because does Joe Coffey take the pin? Because Joe Coffey is also in another. He's in the main title picture, so
Yeah,
you book yourself in a weird corner. And I do think there are a lot of talented people on the roster that you could kind of book within that. So yeah, yeah. And like your point, I would have just made it a fatal four way if anything, because Briggs could have took the pin in the fatal four way
yeah,
too. So yeah, I would have rather liked it being some sort of like DQ finish with Gallus maybe beating both of them down, and then Ava saying we're having a fatal four way instead, or but it is
yeah.
what it is.
It was too complicated. It was constipated. It's like
It was
there's
over.
too much going on.
It gives. We don't know what to do, so we're just gonna throw everything at him. We know
Yeah,
he's winning. We
yeah,
know Obafemi is winning. That's not in doubt. But how we get there is the problem. And I don't think. I think they got to a situation where, well, we don't want Wesley to take the pin, and we don't want Joe Coffey to take the pin. Uh, let's have them both pin Briggs. He's already lost once. He can't lose again. And that just, yeah. Like, Obafemi couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, he lost again. I don't make it a fatal four way. Don't try to overcomplicate things. This is one of the few times that we can say that NXT has overcomplicated something that is literally on a platter, just handed to them. Now, very well, Wesley could have won this match, and I kind of prefer that Wesley would have won this match, and we have that
yeah,
match at Battleground. Since Joe Coffey is also looking toward the NXT World Title as well, but in hindsight's 2020. You'll always feel that way. It didn't need to happen this way, but ultimately we know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be another win for Obafemi. Yes, it's
yeah.
NXT.
It is. He's so dominant. It's funny because we're talking about Joe Coffey being in both title pictures, and it's a little bit like Obafemi's carrying one. How is he not in both? In a
At,
way, right?
at that point,
Like,
I mean, it kind of
If
makes sense.
Yeah, if anybody needs to be in both title pictures, it needs to be Obafemi because that's kind of like be honest with you, after Trick, like he's kind of the other main stage superstar in the men's division on NXT,
Mhm.
and it's inevitable when they're gonna clash. But I feel like who was the last double champ? Keith Lee.
Yes,
I think so.
but they don't allow double champs, so that's where it it gets you at.
Yeah, you have to like give up one now, right? Didn't they make that rule?
I don't. Yeah, he has
Bro,
to in NXT. You do have to give up one unless it's like a tag title.
Manzano said this one. Clark, Drizzy, and Shad, the only guy realistically, if they built him up correctly, that I see as a believable threat to defeat Oba is Keanu Carver or Carver.
stature and size wise, maybe, but you can't. Oba's still significantly bigger than him, like off of a height and just. Obafemi looks like he could be in the NFL right now, like
Oh, he definitely could be.
get
Mm,
you like a leading like interior attack, like the pressures and sacks on the D line. And all it's the thing is this though, and to your he said Keanu Carver, and I think he's a solid talent, still very
Very
raw,
good.
still has to find himself as a character, and maybe within time he finds it. Obafemi is just damn near
He's different.
perfect as a
He's
prospect,
different.
bro.
He's
He,
built
he,
different.
Hey,
he checks all boxes, and
he's
it's not
out of a
the most.
video game.
Yeah, it's like a creative play, but the thing is this: it's the character. That poise that he has is uncanny. You can't teach that amount of poise
You
and
can't
confidence.
teach charisma. You
Charisma,
Uh,
can't
no,
coach
He's
it's
the
it.
I.
dude. He's the dude you see at an airport and you go like,
He passed the airport test,
right?
hands
Like,
down.
yeah, you're like,
Oh,
who's that?
he's
And,
definitely
and
important.
it and the other thing is this: like I think I even said it when we were talking about like Dragunov one time. Like your presentation and how you dress is the defining thing as well. He's well dressed every week, look like $1,000,000, walks with the most confidence,
And
talks with the most confidence,
very well spoken.
articulate. Like he's like a Jalen Hurts Instagram post, man. Like like he giving you them like gems that you're like, I like that. I like that. Use that
Okay.
for IG
Like
post.
By
every
the way,
week, he's got a bar that he's dropping on you.
I just completely
Yeah,
saved my
man.
contact lens. I apologize, guys. That was why I was like fist bumping there. Like I
Man.
folded it into like a little burrito in the corner of my eye there, and I just got it one fell swoop live on air. That was huge. Back to vision wise, I'm back. Which is gigantic because it was dicey there for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay, but
Yeah.
seriously though, let's move on to Lexus King and who
we're still
Dante
trying to
Chen.
figure. We're still trying to figure out. I forgot the guy who worked there. No, no
I
lies.
um Shad, I'm not going to throw you under the bus on what you said about Dante Chen. I'm not going to do it. Because
Yo, chill out, bro.
I'm going to do it myself. I don't know who the guy is. I didn't know who he was until he made his entrance, and then he beat Lexus King. And I think the backstage segment was the corniest segment I've seen on NXT in 6 months, maybe longer. It was
First one, yeah.
pretty brutal. And bless Dante Chen. I wish the best for him. Heck of a win, obviously. And the crowd knew who he was, unlike me.
He's a good talent. It's just that when you go so long, you forget about
Yeah.
people.
They
I
also
forgot.
they
Like
put
even when his music hit, I'm like, who is that?
My issue is not with Dante Chen because I think he actually did pretty well tonight. Um, I will be honest with you. I didn't. I've never heard him talk before. I thought he was a mute. Like they never let the
yeah.
man talk before. But he can speak well. You know, he looked like he been hitting the gym last time I seen him. Um, why is he beating a guy that you made a big deal signing,
And
especially
why is he
signing
Stone's
from your
guy?
rival competition? And the fact that like do I have towel? Because I think it might be time to throw in the towel for Lexus King. I
Yeah.
think it's not working.
Let's
It might be done.
go back to the drawing board. Let's come up with something else
Do something
because the
It
else.
character's just not hitting. His in
because
now, not to say that his talking is bad or his in ring is bad. The character's just not hitting.
no,
I don't know what it is.
it is a god awful. He is literally just the like the stuck up, mean, cocky dude in high school that creeps out all the girls and stuff like that.
He's
Like,
scared. I can't say what I want to say, but he's scaring the girls. He's scaring the
Yeah.
girls.
yeah, man, he's a
Well,
where's my hug type of dude, man. Like, come on,
You
bro.
know what? You know what? Forget it. Ben's gonna give me. He's scaring the hoes. He's
yes.
scaring the hoes.
He's like a
Yeah.
less sketchy, in a weird way. He's like a less clever like version of Pillman Senior in some ways, but
Nah,
like it's
Jersey's
not
right.
quality. It's
He's that
true. Yeah.
homeboy. He's the boy. You're like, I really don't want him. You come, like, bro. You can you be doing too much when we going out, man. Like, like you scaring everybody away, man.
Yeah, it's goofy.
Like, and like y'all said, the in ring work is solid, but like, come on, how am I gonna take him serious? He lost to Dante Chen. He lost to
And we were
someone who
supposed to
doesn't
act like it
even.
was a big deal.
He
Has he
lost
had?
to it. He
Has
lost
he
to a
had
guy
it?
who doesn't win on NXT level up even.
Legit question.
Man.
Has he had any meaningful wins since the Carmelo Anthony? No, he didn't even beat. He didn't even beat Carmelo. He didn't even beat
Wait,
Bro,
Carmelo.
when did he
he
wrestle
doesn't
Carmelo
even.
Anthony? I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Lexus King doesn't even deserve my time to look him up on cable. You know how bad this loss was. Clark is like, we're not even gonna do a pan out to us talking because we
No.
have to collectively talk as a group about
It's
how
like,
trash
it's
this
like what
was.
happened here? I'm
He
like, I'm
lost
not
to
even doing camera cuts.
bro. He lost to the dude who can't even like. This is like
I
this
learned
is
who
crazy,
Dante
bro.
Chen was 45 minutes ago, about approximately 50, yeah, about an hour ago. And I was impressed by his performance. But one thing I was not impressed by was what was the point of this?
Coach 23, I'm not giving him the correlate. No, he is not the loose cannon anymore. He is
No,
literally just
he's
He,
like the tight cannon.
I almost wish.
It's like he's the opposite.
I almost wish he'd go ahead and go full with that gimmick because it's just this.
it'd be better for him.
I don't even know what to call this gimmick. It's
He's
just
not even
not.
a Looney Tunes cannon.
It's not connected with fans. It's not connected with anybody. It just almost every time you see him, everybody go, oh, like
It's
I
That's a
really
great.
and he's a talented wrestler. I've watched him in MLW. Great in ring, great on the mic when he has something to chew on. But this just is
Even in
not it.
AEW, I thought he did some decent stuff. Like I thought, like
Oh
I
yeah.
really thought. I think I enjoyed him at MJF's little feud. Personally,
Oh, I thought that was fun as could be
I
in
thought it was a
Cincinnati and
good
everything
little
with the
feud.
Bengals thing and
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's thing is this, like, I know it's about trying to create your own path and your own identity, but bro, you just there's not it's not clicking like you. I don't know, man. It
But
isn't working.
not even like the loose cannon thing because he doesn't do stuff that he's not supposed to do, like the loose cannon character did. Like he's just weird.
And I'm
That's
gonna
my
say,
problem, right? Like the loose cannon character, like Pillman doing like the messing with Bobby Heenan, like
The
all the
wrestling
different stuff that let right,
wrestling
like
the pin, like wrestling the
yeah,
pencil, trying to
and
get over it, things like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
like legitimately, like was wild. Like Lexus King comes across as just like weird, for lack of a better way to
man,
put it.
and I hate to I hate to say this, bro. I'm gonna get off Alexis King. This may have been the worst surprise I have an opponent for you I've
Oh God,
ever seen in a while. That's
I feel
like
bad for
I
Mr.
got.
Stone.
That's like oh that's like you like I'm a don't worry, I made something for you. Like your wifey made you something. You're like oh it's gonna be a steak dinner something, and it's a mushroom, man. It's a vegan
Yeah,
mushroom or something like that, man.
we've got tofu
it's
pie.
it was very over the. I was more excited to see Robert Stone's music. Oh, they're letting Robbie E go. Like
I
no, he's
thought he
bringing
was
that
gonna.
Dante cheater.
It would have made more sense if Stone would have beat him.
Von Wagner. I mean, that's not going to happen, but Stone brought out
Rhino.
anybody.
All right, this
Talk
is it.
about a change of like manager like
Yeah.
all right no more Vaughn, you got Dante
All
Chen.
right, Stone, we've got an idea for you. How about Dante Chen? Like,
I mean, it seems to be
he had to
working.
be like, no, but seriously, they're like, no, we're thinking Chen.
It's
we're
working.
really thinking Dante Chen. And
It's
Stone's
working
just
though.
like,
We'll see. Well,
okay.
it worked tonight because I just don't like Lexus King, so I'm gonna root for him. But we'll see what Dante Chen can do uh down the road. You know what though? I have more confidence that this will work than the Von Wagner one because I think Dante Chen, from what he talked for that brief few moments backstage, he talks well. He's
He
better
does.
in ring than Von Wagner. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's two talented wrestlers. It was just a odd way it felt thrown together. I think that's the biggest takeaway for me,
Yeah.
at least. It's just like, what are we doing here? For lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Trick Williams promo. Because Javon Evans, I still love Javon Evans. Sets up a tag match. I love this. Trick cuts the promo. We got Gallus out there again. I don't know that I necessarily fully get Gallus. We've had a lot of NXT UK crossover lately in NXT in general. It's starting to feel a little bit
Essentially,
like,
this is Gallus. They are
yeah,
NXT UK Undisputed Era.
right. And it's
Yeah.
like, it feels a little bit like we're getting NXT UK 2.0 at times recently. Not that we are.
Well,
Because we have Trick
they
now.
helped
So
train the final boss for Mania. They got
so
diplomatic immunity in WWE
I
now.
think
It's
so. I
true.
think this is
True.
the thing with the NXT UK guys because they were stuck in limbo so long. They're light years ahead of the ones in Prime. Those guys that are in the breakout tournaments and stuff. So I guess they have to sit there and play catch up to get all these guys, these established acts in to see if they're going to go to the main roster, if they're going to go leave WWE as a whole. And Gallus is probably one of the last of that crop that they needed to do something with because you had a whole lot. It was flooded down there for a while when Brian Breaker was champion. You had Bates, Seven, Dunn. I think no, Dunn may have still been down there. Gallus was a kid. Nathan Frazier. It was flooded with NXT UK guys, Blair Davenport, like all these people that they needed to do something with. So now they're just trying to slowly get
Piper and
them
like,
going. Yeah, Piper, like all of them are in there, and it's not fair, but it's because they were in a company that just in a not company in a brand that got shut down. They just go away. They gotta rotate them in and make things fresh with them. Give them one more chance to get that final presentation before they go to the main roster on TV. And I think they've done a good job weeding them in and through there because now we got Pete Dunne back with the it was a New Catch Republic. You got well, he's gone now, but uh I can't think of his name. Well, Gulak, who's there for a little bit, but he's not there anymore. But they've
yeah,
weeded all those guys through there, and now they've got just that last little bit in the Frazier, A Kid, Gallus. Well, I think once they go, then we'll be good with just running with the breakout tournament guys. What I'm gonna call them.
yeah. It is funny to me though. It's like there is like a juxtaposition between the breakout tournament guys and the former UK guys, right?
Yeah.
It's like they seem to be meeting in the middle
Mm-hmm.
often, right?
But
Like it.
but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
but no, I agree with Drizzy's point. I think it's a good blend, and I think it is necessary because you can't just put all like new green talent in the forefront, in position on a weekly show because you need people to kind of lead the way, and these are guys that can lead the way. eh, Gallus is not they're not a faction that has my full on attention, but I think they are useful and I think they do solid work, especially as heels. I don't know if I'm like excited to see Joe Coffey as like a world champ. I wouldn't mind seeing the other guys as possible tag team champs just because the tag team division does need more solid competitors and whatnot. But I think it is important to kind of have them in this position, especially with a lot of baby faces that you do have. I do find it interesting how it is intertwined within the whole Noam Dar and Trick Williams feud. And it is good for Trick. I think Trick is going against vets like a Noam Dar, now eventually with a Joe Coffey that are only going to help boost him as a babyface and give him solid matches and solid feuds throughout the forefront. In regards to the whole segment, solid overall. Obviously, it's a whole who did what, and that kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier to the comment. If it is that trying to frame trick thing again, it's kind of like a watered down version of the whole Trick and Mellow situation where you're trying to play Jedi mind tricks to think one person did it, but it being another person. But I think it is a little bit more evident, and I think Joe Coffey is kind of flexing the fact that he is been able to take people out. So I'm cool with it. Um, I'm excited for this tag team match. Like you said, I think Javon Evans being intertwined in this main event picture and aligned with Trick Williams is good. I think we probably sooner or later will see a Javon Evans and Trick title match maybe down the road this year. And it speaks wonders for that kid because he's got,
Yeah.
immense amount of potential.
I'm going to introduce a new segment here really quickly, brought to you by us or whoever would like to sponsor the segment in the future. I'm going to say one nice thing about Joe Coffey. Heck of a mustache. There it is.
Yes.
All right. I'm just
Great,
saying.
great talker too.
Oh, yeah, hey, I said one. That's next week. Don't spoil next week's. We'll be back next week with one nice thing about Joe Coffey. I'm introducing a new segment. It's every Tuesday night. Wow, we'll compliment Joe Coffey once. This week it's this mustache. Maybe next week it'll be good talker.
Hmm.
We'll see. You're gonna have to tune back in. With that, let's talk about our favorite moments of the night. Speaking of segments, let's talk about an actual segment where it's our absolute favorite moments of the night. Correct, Shoddy? It's time
Yes, sir.
and
We
it's
we
place.
we do this every episode. We end it off with our favorite personal favorite moment of the night. That don't mean it was the best moment of the night, but to us it was something that we enjoyed.
And I'm still going through my mind phase, so it's my favorite topic, and none of anybody else is allowed to have it. So try not to agree with mine once that I say it. But Drizzy, I'm going to go to you first for what was your favorite moment of the night on NXT?
I'm going with the performance of Thea Hale tonight. I spoke a little bit on it earlier, but it was just so reminiscent of a young Daniel Bryan. She flew through the rope. She did all around. She was on the ground. She worked the arm. It's like you can see it just all. It's like you see the wheels turning and it's clicking. She is Chase U's resident submission monster. She is energetic and spunky and ready to rip your arm off at a moment's notice. It's in it you want to root for her so bad. She plays such a good baby face, which is so hard to do in wrestling, just being a normal baby face in general, but she garners sympathy, she garners helplessness at times, but she's a grown ass woman. She says it all the time. And tonight, although it wasn't a losing effort, a absolutely stellar performance from Thea Hill.
I love it. Hard not to love Thea Hale. She's a big ball of energy in the best way possible. I mean that like it's fun and it's cool how much she's developed since she first started on NXT. We've been able to see that development over the last year. She's got a brighter future than I even realized. I think out of the gates, I thought she kind of had a niche carved out as like the youngster, but that would wear off, and she's done a good job of evolving, um, in a subtle way. Like she still comes with what brought her to the dance, but she's evolved definitely for sure more than I expected.
Mhm.
Shad, what's your moment of the night though tonight on NXT?
So my favorite moment of the night kind of intertwines with what Drizzy said, and it stays on the theme of improving and developing, and it has to do with this immensely talented women's division. My moment of the night goes to someone I used to call Sky Red, Jasmine Nix. Jasmine Nix running in at the end of the match and hitting one of the most beautiful Pele kicks I've seen in the longest time on Thea Hale. It shows her athleticism. I believe she is a former collegiate soccer player, it makes a lot of sense. And I have to give her flowers because this is someone who is in a crop of talent of a very big time pool of women that are in that breakout tournament and then that NIL team. And I think she's slowly but surely coming into her own. And I'm liking the character grow into it more. I like her being the henchman for JC Jane. I think they can possibly bring back a little bit of that toxicity that's a little attractive to the heels over there. And I think she did really well. But yeah, that Pele kick by Jasmine Nix, superb. And I think she's slowly but surely going to be a factor in the women's division.
I love that moment. And to your point, highlight of the night, I think that's up there for sure. Just that Pele would be proud of that one himself.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. It was on the button too. It looked so good. The athleticism to deliver that one, I loved
And the
it.
spring back up on her feet. It was
Yeah,
clean.
it was
Mhm.
clean. The whole thing was clean. There's no doubt about that. For me, I'm gonna stick with Javon Evans. I love running in to support Trick. I think Trick Williams, as great as this run has been to win the title, was actually at his finest alongside Carmelo Hayes when he started to outshine Carmelo at times, or it started to become close. They started to feel like equals. I think we can have a similar story told with Javon Evans. I think it's good for both. I think Javon Evans is an awesome athlete. They're going to make a great tag team. So that run in against Gallus is my moment of the night. But the one part about it that's frustrating to me, and I didn't even camera cut to myself. This is bad, but the one sorry guys, the one part of it that's frustrating to me is that we've got coffee in both scenes. I get that he's not going to be in that tag match, but are we really just having to do that to get us to coffee versus Trick? Is that the route we're going? That's my only caveat. But my moment of the night still is the Evans run in, the Evans pairing with Trick Williams. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the tag match, definitely above all else, and I hope that delivers for sure. Um, Anthony Manzano has a bunch of comments here right before we go. He said,
Manzano, I'll do you the due diligence, bro. Let me see. I feel like
"You want to
hell.
go quick?"
All right, let's go. I like hell, but it's over energetic, spunky teenager starting to get on my nerves. They need to start switching up the character and making her more serious so she can be a bigger threat.
That's what they
She's
did
getting
though.
she's getting better. She's definitely getting better. I think there's a little bit more seriousness to it. I thought her facial expressions outside the ring tonight were amazing. I think her and Fallon was my favorite match of the night. So salute to her. What's the next one? Once the storyline with Bobby,
Bobby's back. Guess who's back?
Bobby.
Bobby, we miss you, Bobby.
Bobby,
Bobby
Bobby,
Patino in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
bro,
Oh boy,
Bobby.
he was worried about
We
you for a
have
second, man.
son. We've
Oh
been
man, we've been
we
missing you, Bobby.
my guy. Ah man,
Oh, that made my
my
day.
bad. Yeah,
All right,
Manzano.
Manzano, we're back to this comment. That's my
Once the
fault.
storyline with Trick Williams finishes, I think Gallus gets moved up to the man. So I talked I talked about that with Clark, and
Yeah,
Clark said he hates it. He does not want to see that happen.
no,
Drew McIntyre does not need a faction. Drew
please no.
McIntyre is best set as the lonely loner
He's
that
a
frees
lone
his
Yeah.
wolf
mind at night. At night.
at
Okay.
night. Shout out,
And then what was the first one,
Scott and
Clark? The
Scotty.
way I look at live. Okay, the top one. Go to the
Oh, whoops.
Clark. I got you. Okay, the way I look at it, Lyra is Becky, just because they're both okay. Anyways, Tiffany and Charlotte. I see that parallel a little bit. And then Bailey and Lola is so both of them. No. All right. So okay, Lyra is Becky, maybe off of the in ring
Well, they're both
premise,
Irish.
but
That
they're
seems like
both
kind of a
Irish and they're both in ring, but character wise are completely
that
different.
seems like
And
a gimme if we're talking golf.
Lyra is a smidget to what Becky can be as a person on the mic. So, and hot take, Lyra's potential might be better in ring than Becky because Lyra has more athleticism to her
She's
and
crazy
she has
though.
more. Yeah. So, but Becky's a good. But yeah, I don't know about that. Tiffany and Charlotte.
The jury is still out on a lot of these
I think
things.
they're different in my.
I
I
don't,
see
bro.
Tiffany
The thing
more
is
like
this.
Trish Stratus modern is what I
Yeah,
see.
it's
Yeah,
Trish
like I
Stratus.
said, the
more
jury's out
athletic
on a lot of these.
Trish. More
Yeah,
athletic Trish. li- I know people have their feelings about Charlotte Flair maybe being overbooked as champion stuff. Can't act like she's not one of the, if not like one of the best in-ring women's
She ain't
wrestlers of all
having
time.
bad.
yeah.
You can holler she's overbooked. You can holler she's overpushed. But one thing you can never say is she had a bad match.
Never. And Charlotte's got way more in her bag than what Tiffany has in
Soul
her bag.
Bailey is a funky comparison, but it kind of cracks me up.
Nah, I don't see that one. See, I see
They're
West
Soul's
options.
Coast,
Soul's potential. Soul's. We're rocking for the hour, by the way, since Bobby's in here now.
100%. Yeah,
Soul's more closer to
Soul's
Charlotte than Tiffany is.
Soul exactly. Soul is more similar to Charlotte off of stature and also fluidity and the athleticism. And I think Soul has more. I've seen more of a technician in Soul than I see Tiffany. And y'all look, man. I gotta. I can't be biased to Tiffany no more. All right. So I gotta keep it funky with y'all. Soul Ruka, I see more of her than Charlotte. Yeah, Tiffany is a she is more like a athletic Trish. I can see that.
yeah.
I don't know where you see Lola Vice and Sasha.
No, Sasha Banks. I
that
feel like that's
No,
weirdly disrespectful to Sasha almost.
that's the
no,
one where my mind is just
they're
going.
two completely
"Ooh,
different animals. There's no
Bobby,
need in using.
we've been good, bro. Like
Yes,
we
I'm
only,
sorry. He's
I
been
swear
doing
on
good. And that's how
everything.
we've been.
Like, bro, like
We miss
we
you, bro.
literally been we miss you, bro. And we've been wondering where you've been in the comments. It's been a minute. And we're only going to the hour because you just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
fired up to have Bobby back, dude. We've
But
been literally, we're like, dude, it's been a long time since Bobby commented.
hey
Made the
man,
show, bro. We love it. Thank you.
yeah.
Um,
Based on the potential for Lola, I'm comparing her to Sasha. But in
see, I
like the only way I see it is just that they're both like cocky.
yeah,
But that's a character thing.
I see it more character wise than in ring. I mean,
Honestly, I don't see the character wise in it. They're both two
y-
completely different monsters.
they're different
Yeah.
animals with that, but
No,
I
I
can
know
see
I
them both
agree with
when
you
they're
on
both
that, Drizzy. I was just them being cocky is the only thing that I could
when they're mean girl. They can both be a little mean girlish. I can draw a parallel there in my head slightly. I think especially with like the swagger we saw tonight from Lola, not what we've seen thus far, but even back to her MMA days. And that's where I can see a slight parallel, but it's a really long reach. Like a long reach. Like I don't see anything else between the two. Bobby Petito, I still watch NXT. I still support my wrestlers. Awesome, Bobby. You're
Bobby,
the
we
man.
gotta ask you, bro, before we get off. Who is your pick to win the women's North American title?
Yes.
And then we'll just get it before the hour hits, buddy.
Yeah, you got
But
us, Bobby. If
um
you're still there.
but I don't know, man. Manzano, you my guy, bro. I might have to some of
I
them I can
love
see
the Bobby pick, Fallon Henley. I dig it. Bobby on the same page as me. I picked Fallon in the beginning.
I don't
And I
hate it,
flipped
but Last
on
Legend.
accident.
I don't hate it, but Last Legend thinks different. So,
we all gotta pick someone different. I mean if Tatum Paxley win next week, I'm switching my pick.
Is it bad
But
that the first week that
Tatum.
we did pick in the
but
tournament,
I'm
I said Fallon Henley, and then I forgot that I did, and I went back and
Yeah.
rewatched the episode and was like, oh wait, Fallon was my pick.
yeehaw.
Whoops.
Yeehaw.
Either way, it's been an awesome
On
show.
that note,
It's good to have you back, Bobby. We've been missing you, man. It's good to have everybody back. Thank you, everybody that commented. Anthony Manzano, Coach 23, Melon Playground. Good evening, Dre. I forgot. I didn't even see that one actually until just I had to scroll up here. We had so many comments. Chris Company Main, of course. Everybody that tuned in, we really appreciate it. Every Tuesday night, it's the best. We'll see y'all soon. Daily broadcast tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 East. 8 over in the UK. That's 9 a.m. in Hawaii. Throwback Thursday. This Thursday is going to be a fun one. I almost accidentally spoiled it, but I'm not going to do that. That does bring us to the end of the show, though. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do on behalf of me, Shad, Dryzzy, Wrestling Republic. Thanks. Happy Tuesday. Get some tacos. Have a good one. Peace.
end it.